It's not for me. It's not for me.
What happened with that dude?
Okay. Welcome to the Moral Limits. I just walked in on Jesus and Alex having an argument about women. I have no idea the context or what's actually going on. Continue.
Yeah, Alex, why don't you respond? Why don't you repeat what you had just said about how do we know that it is mainly women who are sexually harassed?
Because we live in a society where men are where men are told.
That is true, but even given that, like,
I guess I'll just stand back and not respond.
All right, go on, Alex.
Because we live in a society where men are told that they're not able to be raped, they're not able to be sexually assaulted because they like this kind of stuff. They like it when women do it to them.
That's not true. Because, sure, in a situation where a woman rapes a man, they are told that does happen. Victim blaming does happen.
It's 40%.
But when a man rapes another man, that is an entirely different issue.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that men do get
But you're saying
assaulted.
that men are told that if you are raped, it doesn't matter because you like it. But when it comes to men getting raped, the majority of what is statistically shown, people have confessed to, it is that men are more likely to rape than, or not more likely, but rather that men have been reported to have raped them more often than women, which is the issue.
Reported.
Sure, reported, but exactly. When I was raped by fucking Benji and Rob Copter and technically Gio, but not really because I did consent before camera. But you know, whatever.
We have, and this isn't, I'm not saying that all people are saying this, but there are a lot of people who go on record saying that if somebody consents, if she, the person who has been sexually assaulted or raped, has consented and then decides to take their consent back, then they were raped, even though they had given consent beforehand.
Sure, if someone decides, like, before the act has been committed, if they decide that they don't want to do it anymore, if you change your mind, and then they continue to force you into it, then of course that's rape.
No. The woman consents to sex with, whether it's a man or woman, the fact that sex happened is the only part that actually matters.
There's no point in you saying, oh, the man or the woman,
no,
because you started the statement with the woman's consent. So like you're already creating
Are you saying
like a norm.
hinges on gender?
No, I'm not. But he's the one saying that. Oh yeah. Come on in. He's the one that
This is George
said,
here.
George, come around.
Women,
George
if a
Remington.
woman consents to a man or a woman, it doesn't really matter. Then like he's already creating.
No, I'm saying in me trying to explain to you what they are saying, it doesn't matter.
It only matters the one doing the
It
rape,
matters
not
that the
one
two people.
getting
It
raped,
matters that
right?
the two people consented. That's the part that matters. Whether or not it's two men or two women or a man and a woman doesn't. That part doesn't matter. Is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if there are people who are saying that you can take your consent back after the fact.
Well, no, you can't take it
Exactly.
after the fact.
But
Yeah.
You do not feel comfortable while doing it. You can take
Well, yeah. Wow.
No,
that's
no.
different,
I'm
though.
saying.
He's saying that like the morning after, if you decide, you know what,
There-
I didn't
there-
get it. That's different.
Yes, but there are a lot of people out there saying that, and a lot of people are saying that you can do that. And I'm
Sure, but you're talking about like a radical group. I could also point to the people that say that women should have no rights and that, you know, white is a superior race and say a lot of people are saying that, and does that prove anything? No, that's not saying anything.
I'm
you know,
saying that's
just,
part of it.
Sure, but I could say the
I'm
same
saying
thing about the other side.
that could be a reason why it seems to be so large. I mean, there's people who said, well,
No, but like, you can make the same argument about the other side, but the problem is that is a minority in our current society. That is not the majority of what we see from people.
or what we hear from people is the problem.
Yeah.
Taking things that are hearsay is my problem, instead of taking things that are
What do we-
evidence
if
and
we-
saying
okay.
that it's true. It's like saying guilty until proven innocent. It's believing the person based on what they say, and only that.
No, but when we're talking about a person's experiences, what do we have to go on except what they feel and how they believe?
That's a problem. I get.
From the outside is going to tell you how you feel and how they feel.
Right, exactly.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, sure.
you mind if I get a skill box?
Yeah, I'll get you one right now.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not saying that rape doesn't occur and that sexual assault doesn't occur in our country. And I'm not saying
I'm not accusing you of saying that.
I am so proud of you.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, he passed away like 2 years
You know,
ago.
he's gonna take that little snippet and like use it.
No, he was like
I said what?
Doesn't speak to
You
me.
want to know when he was born?
You're just gonna slice up what I said.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he does. Believe me, I know.
Rape doesn't happen. There you go. Now you don't have to snip it.
I pretty much download. I've made it a point to download as much.
But my problem, is, you know, if you look at the amount of what's it called?
And right now I'm trying to collect as many of their studio albums.
The amount of women's shelters for people who've been assaulted and raped or need a place because of their assaulter.
That's on this.
So there's
Out of
Actually,
But they're giving it to the
Out
wrong
of-
people.
out
that
of
are not
every
white
single-
males that are heterosexual.
out of every single shelter in this country, the entire country,
white males who are heterosexual. Then
in this country, only
we have not
one,
confirmed that they're heterosexual.
only one of them accepts men who are sexually assaulted. One in the entire country, and they make up 40% of the rape statistic. So,
That is
what's
definitely
what's? There's such a big problem here, but like,
I completely
there
agree.
we have people who are going out, people who, they may be a minority of the people here, but they stand, and a lot of people stand behind them because of how high their status is, that are going out and saying that you can go and say, well, I can take my consent back. You have it's not that there's a lot of people who are saying it, it's that there's very prominent people saying it, which is more powerful than somebody like if Stewart went out and said it on the street, it would mean diddly squat. You're just an never
Sure,
mind.
but again,
And said what?
sure, like, I understand that's an issue, but again, if we're talking about prominent figures and what they believe in, like, generally this country is run by people with very specific values. Our
Right.
country is run by Christian male heterosexuality, and like that's
You're not
a
say
problem.
that way.
Come on.
They
Not-
are.
No, like
Not because not because both of those groups make up a majority of the
It's not
country.
just Trump though. It's not about the figurehead. It's about the majority of.
Trump's not even Republican, by the way. But
I have no say in it because I don't know anything.
here's the thing. From those two groups, you should have said white, Christian,
And heterosexual.
whatever.
No, not whatever. It is a big factor.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, for the white, the 2 out of the 3, white and Christian.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 that you listed, how many of those are the majority in our country?
Hold on.
Anyone else?
It's not. But
We
like
are-
you said,
we are
it's
a
not
majority
about
white,
It's not the
and we are-
majority. It's about.
Pause.
Two other.
The only thing I want to point out is you
drummer
keep
and a
saying they're all
guitarist. It
Christian
was like a
working with
I didn't say they're all Christian. I said
Yeah.
the majority.
No, but the ones that you
like a
even say
three-
are Christian or not Christian, you're just
This
saying
guy
they're
was
Christian to
basically
get
a
that Christian
trio.
vote. It's the voters who are Christian, not the
And in
actual
fact,
politicians.
I live in a
Yeah,
Scorpions.
that's a hard sell though.
A majority of people.
But it's not just about the prominent
And they
figures.
actually
It's
had
about the entire
drummer
group,
making
like the
appearance
Congress.
there.
You know, like
Oh, you saw
I mean,
him,
like if you look at
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
the
The
religion
Congress.
is.
I even
the way-
recorded his drumming. This really long.
Right,
ass drum
it's
solo
to
he
back them up.
Sure,
It's fuel.
sure, but you know, if you look at the distribution of religion across like our government, it's disproportional, and that's the problem.
Right, but it's not because
There's always going to be a disproportion. There's
Sure,
no.
but it shouldn't be to the
Should-
extent that we have now.
it's not. Okay,
Yeah, well,
it's not like-
here's the thing. There's other variables to it than just they're in control. They've had power all this time.
they're proposing
Again, there are a majority white people in America. There are a majority Christian as a religion. They are majorities, and because not only and this isn't just for people who are that as congressmen, but also that they are able to appeal more to the majority of the country and get voted in easier. That's just
Right.
people
but
say,
when-
well,
if our
you know,
country is generally speaking 70% Caucasian, but our government is roughly 90%, no, even more so, 95% Caucasian, like that's
about
disproportionate.
92 if you talk the whole.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That's still disproportionate.
Yes,
And you
but
look- if you look at-
you
if you look
can't
at
you
our-
can't say
if you
that
look
the
at our
entire
jail-
statistic is based on whites have more power or Christians have more power.
And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you're trying to make the argument that, well, of course there's a majority of male, of white people in the
No,
government.
I'm just explaining that
it-
there's more variables to it than just one.
Sure, but if you're trying to make the argument that, well, there are more white people in America, so of course there are going to be more white people in the government, sure, but it shouldn't be this disproportionate.
You know, disparities are just kind of a part of nature. I mean, the bunny rabbit isn't that strong as a law.
Right, but just because
I mean, people are like, well, why does it take us so long to get a black president, right?
Not to mention,
Even though he was
what?
half.
I heard you say something about a majority. Are you for democracy?
I consider myself middle of the road.
You consider yourself what?
Middle of
the road.
He's
Middle of the road?
he's a fence sitter.
Okay. I mean, well, do you
So-
like the idea of kind of group decisions?
What?
Do you like the idea of kind of group decisions?
Kiss. I heard Bessa. Kiss, kiss.
What?
I don't know what
Stewart,
the
you don't
fuck
even
he's saying.
speak Spanish. What do you mean?
All I'm saying is
What?
majorities, they can make some really terrible decisions.
I completely agree.
People say, well,
I mean,
why did
that's
it take us
why
so
I like
long?
a Republican government that doesn't have much influence over the economy.
Fair point.
People
Speak into the microphone, Jordan.
Yeah.
people wonder why. I accidentally pressed the button. You can cut it back together. I just restarted it.
Yeah, Alex may have fucked up her podcast, which is nice.
It just means that Stewart will have to work a little harder later.
Getting me.
Stewart doesn't work at all.
People ask why did it take us so long to get a black president, right?
Alright.
Comes out to
So
7:50.
there are two main factors in this. One, a majority of the time, most of our country was racist towards black people. That's a given.
It's probably the only.
But even if you go only,
remotely excited
100
about
years ago,
Christmas.
1917,
Otherwise,
whites
I've
made up
become very cynical
90% of the
about the holiday.
population.
Alright.
And most, if not all, of the black population were in disparity, just one or two generations out of slavery. People will go, why did it take us so long? They weren't doing so well not so long ago.
Was originally a pagan.
We didn't get the equal rights, or we didn't have the civil rights movement until the 60s. That was only 60 odd years ago.
Yeah.
I have
So,
no
you know.
idea anymore.
But that's still 50, 60 odd years ago that we
I'll
didn't
just be
have a
spending
black
Christmas
president.
watching.
Yo. Okay, wait. Two
Christmas
beloved
in
presidents I want to
1974.
destroy right now.
Oh,
So,
hey, let's go.
Lyndon B. Johnson, racist.
Pretty much anybody
Basically some-
before, like Reagan and
Somehow
down is
escaped from
racist.
a asylum.
Reagan,
Nobody knows this.
Reagan was
But it's a
almost
product of their
like he
time,
could.
It's all cool in the 80s.
Exactly.
But Jesus, I remember an
Somebody
early
knocks them off
episode
one
of The
by
More
one.
Limits when you were like stroking FDR.
I made one comment. I quoted him once, and then you loved him.
And-
You loved that quote,
it's
and then I
directed
said,
by
"Yeah,
the
he's a
same
pretty
guy
cool
who did
president,"
Christmas
and you were like,
Fucking
Clark.
tiger. Fucking tiger. No. You know he
You've
set up
seen that
the
movie,
New
right?
Deal, right?
"Yeah."
The New Deal, which gave out loans to the people, right?
Super, super bullshit.
Yeah, now beyond it
There's
just
also
being a
this other
handout
one
to
that came out
everyone,
in
which
recent
always
years that I would
said,
recommend.
it also only handed
called
out to people in
Krampus.
certain communities,
It's
which
focused
we
more
set
on-
up through
it's a bit-
redlining,
it's like a
which
horror
kept all
comedy,
the blacks
but-
in one area, all the whites in another area, which stuck around for the
Yeah, it's
suburbs,
based off an
which stuck
actual
around
old
for our schooling
European
systems. So
myth
today it's more segregated
about
forever.
about this
Thanks to
demon who would
FDR, and I dropped my mic.
take all the bad children and punish them.
Do you think we live in a rape
various ways.
culture?
You would either stick
We
them
live
in
in
a
a rape
sack and then whip them with a branch,
Thanks to me.
or he would take them to
All
a
right,
coal
define
mine to
rape
work to be
culture.
slaves for eternity.
A culture that
Is that where that,
doesn't demonize rape,
That's a real
but
life.
what's
Probably.
the word?
Perpetuate.
And I'm
No,
not,
no. I would have said we were living in a rape culture before Columbus Day. But ever since we stopped celebrating our racist birthday, we are a free country.
probably.
That is true. Columbus did, in fact, do that.
Yeah, he did.
a lot, and killed a lot. He actually didn't. When he first came to this continent,
Right.
he didn't land in America. He landed in the Caribbean islands. There used to be a group of people there, and they're no longer there because he killed them all.
Yeah.
And enslaved
Say,
them and did Lord knows what else.
Yeah. Well, you know.
So
But
somewhere
it's okay because Columbus, right, founded America.
either
Except he, who was the navigator on his ship though? That's the real question. Because I think credit's being given to the wrong person here. Just saying.
But a rape culture is a culture that is okay with rape, and whether it's a I don't know of any cultures that is okay with. Actually, I just thought of it.
Khal Drogo
The,
in Game of Thrones, right?
no.
The Dothraki.
No, I'm thinking like actual.
The best part of fantasy, and this was before we ended Columbus Day, so this is why it took place.
When is Columbus Day?
Not
I don't
anymore,
know.
that's when.
Exactly.
Anyway, I don't even.
Was when
I
Khal
don't
Drogo
even
said
care
the best
for
part of
Thanksgiving
fantasy. You're not
because
even fucking listening, you unprofessional.
of his origins.
It's the best part of fantasy. You can do crazy shit like that.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones yet, so I don't know what the fuck Dothraki means.
Honestly, I don't really know.
It's a tribe of
and
people
I don't
who all
care.
love to rape women.
Otherwise, all I know is that
So
there is no way that it's actually.
there's actually a part in the Bible that spoke about rape, specifically of soldiers who would rape
Which was written
people
before
of a
we
village.
ended Columbus Day.
Conspiracy theories.
Well, it's been rewritten so many times. I mean, really.
I mean, who really wrote it? But there was a thing where soldiers would, I don't remember, it's in Old Testament, but soldiers would rape the people of the village. And
Cool, man.
and usually that village was majority men. So they not only raped women and children, they also raped men.
And that's why.
You know, a culture that is okay with raping people is what you would consider a rape culture.
Exactly.
That's what I would consider a rape culture. Now, do you believe we live in a rape culture?
Which doesn't even have any flavor
Okay, good.
to it.
End of
Awesome.
conversation.
I love it took you 10 minutes to make that
Alice
point.
won the war on rape. Congratulations, Alice.
I think
Yeah.
rape is definitely an issue in our
I would rather
culture, but I
settle
don't
for a
think we
Christmas
live
ham
in
thing
a
very
rape
much.
culture.
You know where rape isn't an issue? Where it's not illegal. Like India.
Oh god.
Say
Like-
to the microphone, you
Do
idiot.
you know where rape isn't illegal? Or rather, you know where it is an issue, where it isn't illegal?
Middle
like
East.
In India? The Middle East? Yeah.
Where it's okay to marry a 9-year-old.
It's all about different cultures,
No, no, no.
Alex.
So it's
Wait,
okay because they're a different
Hold on.
culture.
Sidebar.
Yes, because
No,
you're pushing your
sidebar.
culture onto other people.
Oh,
Sidebar.
so you're okay with rape of little
care about
women?
all
Sidebar. More limit sidebar. All right. I'm not going to take down the presidents this time. Gandhi slept with kids.
That's true. That's true. He did.
Yeah, Gandhi was a pedophile.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
You know,
Their pico de gallo here is top.
until very recently, the world was very civilized.
I love how you've gone from rape culture
Well,
to pico de gallo.
especially when you consider.
And on that note,
well,
thanks
then
for watching.
again,
Through all the things I've had to see, visions of the pods to be, the moral limits are unseen, and now it all seems clear to me that arguing is painless. It brings a little changes, and I can do it with whomever I please. Fuck you, no you can't, only with me.
Oh, well, I guess I'm recording, so